Hi, this is Brian with the Instructional Tech Coordinator team. We're going to be looking at GarageBand, and in this video, we're going to take a look at single track recording versus multi-track recording. So GarageBand technically is a multi-track editor, and while we pull it up and take a look at it here, what does that mean exactly? Well, here we're looking at a recording that I did. And it's just what we call a single track recording. That means there is just one line of audio waves here. If I were to zoom in, you would see that we have waveforms here. So they're sitting right there. And a waveform is just a visual representation of audio. So what this means, what a single track recording means, is that I have recorded once or I have continued to record on the same track throughout the entire recording. All right. Nothing wrong with that. It just means that generally this audio recording was done in a single take all at once, or it was paused and then re-recorded again. But generally speaking, it's done in a single take. Now what we're going to look at is something called a multi-track editing. So this is one that I did just to show what multi-track editing looks like. Here you can see that I have 1, 2, and 3 different tracks of sound. Each track was recorded separately from the other tracks. So really what I did was I just played the first part on my guitar here. Then I came in and I filled it in on the second part, and then I played the third part over that. If I zoom in, you can see that the waveforms really don't match up. So here I've got a little bit larger waveforms. Okay, here I have nothing. As I scroll along, you'll notice they don't look exactly the same as we go through them. So this is obviously, this one here is my main track, but then I've got 2 supporting tracks underneath that. Now, why is that important, or how might that work in an educational setting, not just something that has to do with music? Whenever we're adding multiple parts, it's easier to use multiple tracks and not have to record everything at the same time. If you've ever recorded an audio project before and you've had multiple characters or actors or speaking parts come into that, it can be difficult to get everybody to come in at the same point or at the intended time, especially with students who sometimes tend to screw up their lines or laugh or interrupt one another, or a bell goes off. And so you're never in a perfect environment to be recording everything at the same time. So what multi-track editing does is it allows us to move pieces of a track around, or pieces of a song around, and edit them properly as we need to. So in this particular instance, I started all my recordings at the same point. But if we look at a different one, let's see if I've got another multi-track here. Here's another multi-track example. And in this one, you can see that I've got just small pieces of audio that were recorded at separate times. And this allows me to move them around to the places that I need them to be. And so here you can see that my music track comes in, and here you can see that my audio recorder 3, so this is a different speaking part, and here is a different speaking part and a different speaking part. So multi-track editing lets us organize and bring in different parts more easily across the tracks. So that is multi-track versus single track editing. For most applications in the classroom, a single track is going to be sufficient. However, as soon as you start getting into more experienced projects or deeper projects or larger projects, group sorts of work, multi-track editing is something that you'll need to be able to master and understand, and it's really not that difficult. It's just understanding that you're layering sounds on top of each other. As always, if you have questions, feel free to email us and let us know what you think. Thanks.